What's cracking, peeps? Darren McDuffie here, alias Fat Man, helping you become perfectly healthy and toned and conscious, yo. So as I promised on Monday, I was going to film a second video just talking about inspired action versus regular action. I don't want you to get confused in thinking that whatever you think about, you manifest, and it's just going to fall in your lap. There's something called, again, inspired action versus regular action. And I wanted to share with you two stories about inspired action, listening to your soul, your inner being, or that gut feeling, whatever you want to call it, and how it helped me manifest what you're seeing today in me filming these videos and me sharing my experiences with health and wellness. So I always share the story of my mom passing away in 2005 and how it kind of was my moment. It was like a phoenix, how I rose to start getting into health and wellness and getting into more consciousness. I remember having that time to spend with my mom before she passed. My sister and I were just taking turns staying with her in the hospital. And I remember on one specific day, my aunt came there to stay with her, and my aunt told us to go home because, you know, we needed to get some rest. We had been staying off and on with her while she was there. And the minute we left the hospital and got into my mom's carport at her house, my aunt called my cell phone and said that, you know, your mom passed. And I knew that that was my mom's way. I knew that she wasn't going to pass while my sister and I were there. But I know that she wanted to know that we were okay, but she didn't want us to see her leave the physical plane and emerge back into what we would call non-physical. Now, when I got back to the hospital, it was a little bit life-shattering for me because there I was looking at someone who had given me birth, someone who had given me a large amount of unconditional love, always felt like I was the best thing since sliced pizza, and it shook me to my core. I can't tell you how I felt in that moment, but I remember right there in that moment asking, I said, I want to start taking better care of myself. I want to know the things that I don't know. I was overweight at the time. I was almost 250 pounds, finished my basketball career, and I was just chilling, so to speak, eating whatever I wanted to eat and doing whatever I wanted to do and not really taking a lot of care of my body. And when we left the hospital after getting everything situated to get my mom to the funeral home and all the things that you have to do, you know, when someone departs the earth plane, we did. And when I got to my mom's house, I sat on her couch and I turned on the TV. Something just told me to turn on the TV. I turned on the TV, and as soon as I turned on the TV, there was a commercial on for a book. And I'm going to show you the book. I still have it today, and I keep this for me as somewhat of a reminder, and it also has a sentimental value for me. And the gentleman's name is Kevin Trudeau. And something kept urging me to order the book. So I ordered the book, and I read the book within a day. And the book goes into a lot of health and wellness, some things that you might not know. And for me, I had been in the pharmaceutical industry as a pharmaceutical sales rep. So I had this tremendous belief in drugs, prescription medications, and I still don't push against prescription medication. I know for some people, that's their way. That's going to work for them. And if that's your way, then by all means do it. If you want to do a more holistic way, then do that as well. But I made peace with a lot of this pushing against different things, different people's beliefs, And I just know and trust my guidance, and am cool with everybody else and what they want to decide for their lives. I can't create in their life. I can only create in mine. So therefore, I accept people. Now, reading that book led me to wanting to trust myself to start losing weight. I was 250 pounds at the time. I'm 6'7", which for a lot of you might say that that's not a lot of weight, but it is for someone who is, good morning, park ranger there. It is for someone like me who had always been a skinny kid and could never gain any weight. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about working out, putting the right foods into my body. And believe it or not, playing basketball, that never really taught me a lot about weightlifting and putting the right things into my body to fuel it, to have, better consciousness. So when I got back to Florida, I went to the bookstore and saw a book called Body for Life, written by a guy named Bill Phillips. I actually ended up getting rid of that book because I have so many books. And when I was in the bookstore, the book was like $15 to $20, and I know I could have bought it at the time, but something told me not to buy the book. I don't know why. I just listened. And when I left the bookstore one weekend, I got the urge to go to the flea market. There's a well-known flea market here in South Florida called the Swap Shop. You can go out there on Saturdays and Sundays and find just about anything that you want. I mean, anything that you want. And I found pretty much anything that I wanted there. But on that particular weekend, I remember walking around and there was a gentleman selling books. I had seen the table from across the way, and something just told me to go over there and check the books out. Again, I listened. Went over there, checking the books out, and guess what? There was a book, Body for Life. The gentleman was selling it for, guess how much? $1. I got the book for $1, and again, when I got home, I started reading the book. It had a weightlifting program. It had tips on eating, which is exactly what I wanted to manifest at that particular point in time. So immediately, I started doing the workout, and I went from 250 pounds down to 210 pounds. And my weight now stays between 215, somewhere 220. Never had any more problems with my weight. I started going to the gym 2 times a day, in the morning to maybe do cardio and then do the weightlifting type stuff. And that's how I got my weight down. But it was, again, regular action. But at that time, I was enjoying it. I was seeing the results. I was seeing the results of my eating. And so I guess you could say that was inspired action. Could have probably did it a little bit easier. But I just wanted to give you 2 examples of inspired action. A lot of times we do what we call regular action. And regular action is great, but a lot of times when you're banging things out, you have little time to enjoy it. Have you ever done something and by the time you got to that final destination, it's not fun, it's not enjoyable? When you do something through inspired action, it's easy. It's easy, y'all. When I did this, when I manifested the books, it was so easy for me to do that because I was willing to listen to my soul. I was willing to just take tips from my inner being or listen to that gut feeling, whatever you call it. So many times we go against our instincts, we go against our gut. And I've done that in so many situations, and now I'm a little bit more open. In fact, I'm entirely open to listening to my gut feeling, listen to my inner being, listening to my soul and letting it guide me, because no one knows what's better for you than you. And when you're doing something through inspired action, a lot of times it's just like stepping on the path. You step on the path, you make one step, then you step, and you make another step, and then you make another step. And then you may make 4 or 5 more steps before you get to your final destination. But it's fun. You're enjoying the journey along the way because, again, it's inspired action. It's not regular action where you're banging things out. You're constantly trying to bang it out, get out of a situation, get out a job that you may dislike. So that's the difference in what we call inspired action versus regular action. No one is telling you not to do any action, but I would rather you do it something through inspired action. Inspired action is fun again. It's easy, and it's always leading you. You're always on that path. And when you look back, you can see it, and you're like, wow, I had a lot of fun. And I can tell you through these 2 experiences, I had a lot of fun doing this because I was, again, willing to listen to myself, willing to trust myself. We are living in a time where we are not trusting ourselves. We're not trusting our intuition to guide us in the right way. And we're looking to compensate with that for regular action. So do things through inspired action. Ask, trust that it's done, and then get out of the way and get ready to receive it. And you will find that you will start stepping on that path. You will recognize stepping on that path. I know a lot of you out there are looking for relationships. Some of us are looking for better jobs. Whatever it is that you desire, just ask, expect it, and get the heck out of the way and start looking for things that inspire you. Sometimes your inner being may be telling you that, hey, I need to go home for a minute. I might need to go visit my parents. You may not know why you're going to visit your parents. You go to visit your parents, and maybe there's someone there from high school that you've known for years, and you meet that person, you guys hit it off, and then you end up getting married. That person was your soulmate. And that's how things happen, and it happens for you easy like that. And it can happen in any types of circumstances, but because we're so used to banging things out and doing things through regular action, it feels like effort. And anything that feels like effort isn't going to be fun. Inspired action is fun. It doesn't feel like effort. It's just as if you're taking, again, that next logical step. Whatever you want, just start asking the universe, start asking God. And like I said over and over and over again in this video, get out of the way, expect that it'll happen, and then start trusting yourself to move on your path through inspired action. Start asking yourself, what am I supposed to be doing today? What's fun for me to do today? Inner being, soul, gut feeling, what are you telling me to do today? Should I take a day off from work and go to a coffee shop? Whatever. And trust that whatever comes to you is the right answer for you. So that's the definition of inspired action versus regular action. No one's telling you not to do any action. A lot of times things are not just going to fall into our laps. You're not going to be a genie and blink your eyes and things appear. I wish that it was that easy, but it can be that easy if you're willing to do things through inspired action. If you're willing to let things happen for you instead of trying to make things happen for you. And I know that this is more of a longer video, but I wanted to get the point across to you of really following your guide, your inner guide, really following your instincts and trusting it. We get out of the mode of trusting ourselves, and like I said, no one knows what's better for you than you, so why not trust yourself? Darren McDuffie, alias Fat Man, helping you become perfectly healthy in tone. One love, yo. If you want to view more of my videos, go to my Facebook page, Darren McDuffie, or join my YouTube channel at Fat Body BC. Fat is spelled with a P like Paul, H like Harry, and then BC is with a B like boy, C like Calvin. So it's Fat Body BC, and you can view every video that I've ever done. Peace out. Again, one love, y'all.